was about 40 years ago now. And we went for vacation for a week. We saw an ad, in the paper. Oh, well, let's go there. So we went to Hills Beach in Bideford, and for 2 years we went there. And we loved Maine. And one day my husband was going along the beach, just jogging along the beach, and he saw this sign up for house for sale.
I've never jogged around. I'm not good at that, but one of a few times I ever jogged immediately up along the water level of the beach, and
he went and looked at it, and he came back. He said, "I've seen a house."
I have very fond memories of going there and visiting, and was super excited when they decided to buy a place. The house at first was really run down, and they had to do a lot of work to make it even inhabitable, so we kind of camped out.
it was all run down, that place. There was no one living in it, really.
In fact, the inspector, he said, we shouldn't really let you do it because there's fire, we scrap it for high hazard, but if you want to do it, do it. So we took it on, and we got some good builders and we renovated it. It worked out very well. Because it was a little bit, trepidous. You wonder what it's going to turn out like, and it was fine though. Yeah, it was. We were fortunate. We were fortunate to be able to afford it then. We couldn't afford it now.
It's just a very interesting beach to be at. The Native Americans, they referred to it as the beach of shifting sands because it's always changing. And I think I really enjoy that about it every year. After the winter storms, you can see quite a difference with the sandbar and where that's positioned and how the beach changes each year. And it's fun just watching the tide. The tide goes out so far at Hills Beach. It changes dramatically just in the course of a day. At high tide, everything is underwater and you're swimming, and then at low tide, you're able to walk way out to the island and explore things.
I mean, it was a beautiful view and lovely, quiet beach. It's not like some honky-tonk. It was beautiful, so we loved it. And I always loved the ocean because in England we weren't too far where my family grew up, so we just loved it. It was so peaceful. I don't think I could live anywhere where there wasn't an ocean or rivers or something.
But it was special about it. Well, I suppose in the early days when I could sit in the water, really when I had a little boat, quite a nice little boat actually. Mummy went with us quite a bit on it. David didn't like going in the boat much at all, but and we used it for quite a few years, didn't we? Mm-hmm. See the birds, different kinds of birds I see there. It's fun to see that. The flowers that we grow in the house.
Oh, the children loved it, yeah. They just took it like ducks to water, and they always like to come back and visit now when they're older. So, yeah, everybody likes it there.
I've always enjoyed, when I was younger, sharing it with friends, bring your friends up there to share in the beauty of Hills Beach and the fun.
They were kind of funny because they wanted to go out and about, and they didn't want a curfew. So I think they used to climb out the bedroom window and go off. They always came back by about 8 o'clock, it was 9 o'clock, but they climbed out the window and went off if we saw them not to.
Loved walking out to the island and looking for sand dollars and exploring all the tide pools out there. And then, once I had kids, bringing all of you up there and seeing it through your eyes for the first time was extremely meaningful. It still is. So much fun to watch.
the beach and everything. I mean, kids on the beach all the while. We just about lived on the beach. But places to go was Federal Jack's in came up to the. It's like a pub restaurant. We used to go there nearly every week, and then a couple of other little restaurants. Oh, Baffleheads is a local one just down the road. That was lovely. The food was beautiful. At first it was a different restaurant, and way back it was a little store.
That was another fond memory of walking down the road with our quarters to play Frogger or Galaga at the. I had the high score. Frogger. Yeah. Meeting up with friends and like going down there and getting snacks and candy bars and chips and playing video games. And later to Buffleheads when it was a restaurant, which was really nice. And it's a shame that now that's a loss for Hills Beach. The restaurant closed a couple of years ago and was sold to as a private home.
I think the people at the last one got into financial trouble, so that's why they sold. It wasn't because of the food. The food was great.
When we first moved there was a little lobster shack down the road that would sell lobsters. It's now turned into a house. I remember Granddad would always say, doesn't know how they'd ever get the smell of lobsters out of the floorboards. So it has changed a lot in terms of the houses, like who lives on Hills Beach.
Hills Beach has changed a lot. When we first went there weren't so many houses. A lot of houses have been built, and it's a local, just local people live there, fishermen and.
They were year-round, a lot of not well-off people actually. As the years grew along, more and more people, they really had to leave. They really couldn't afford to maintain it anymore there.
But now it's so built up, and half the people are just summer visitors, at least half of them now. But yes, it was very quiet, farming, roundabout farming community, but yeah, so totally different now.
I think when people realized the potential for being such an amazing vacation spot, and people started buying for vacation homes instead of just year-round homes, yes, the prices started going up. And so I'm hoping we still have a long time left on Hills Beach. But yeah, I'd be pretty sad to see that go. I'd be devastated.
So, but it's brought a lot of pleasure to us, certainly a tremendous amount of pleasure there. Walking around, driving around, talking, seeing lots of local people I chat with. Yeah.
But that's about sums it up. And here we are, getting older and settled. We didn't want to. One time we thought we might like to move when my husband was going to offer for another job in California, but we decided to stay here. Well, I think Hills Beach, what appealed to us was we felt comfortable because the people were very similar, and as I say, their sense of humour is the same as ours in our part of England. It was like home from home.